Canelo. Jesus Lord. Come on. You're getting paid all this money to fight against a runner who we all knew was gonna run. The Cuban style. You chose him. And now you say you hate fighting runners? Well then, don't fight runners.
I don't know what the he was doing, you know. I heard that that's never happened to him until he got with Reynoso's group, you know what I'm saying? So maybe they are doing shit that they're not supposed to be doing, you know what I'm saying? Maybe they didn't clean him out at the right time and he got caught up, you know? So I guess I'll just wait for him too. I just gotta focus on July 12th. You know, after that, anything can go.
It was, it's not interesting to see the fight when one person doesn't want to win at all. But it was hard fight for Canelo because he was always aiming, and even the skull didn't throw punches, and it's hard to catch him. You know, he's just moving, but his movement is good, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's finished. Boxing's biggest name, Canelo Alvarez, may have finally reached the end. Not from a devastating knockout, not from age slowing him down, but from the storm that has shadowed him for years. Steroids, Pez, and doping allegations. The fighter once hailed as the pound-for-pound king, Mexico's golden boy, and Floyd Mayweather's successor now finds himself buried in controversy.
And it's fucked up that they don't got Tank as one of the top guys, pound for pound. And you look, they can rank Canelo up there, and I just feel like Canelo is one of the guys. He's one of the top guys up there, but he's not the only guy. Even though Spence went through what he went through, and Crawford, these guys should be rated up there. Every time they went out there, they done what they had to do. There's so many young fighters that's up and coming that we don't talk about. That kid Ennis, booze, don't sleep on him. Don't sleep on him. I tell these fighters, don't. Hell of a fighter. Benavidez should be ranked in the top pound for pound. But what we don't talk about is, Canelo. Steroids. They don't talk about that. So we don't know. We really don't know all the fighters he beat. He could have been not clean in a lot of fights.
You think he was clean the night he fought?
I'm saying, I don't know. That's y'all.
From his 2018 clenbuterol scandal to rivals like Terrence Crawford, David Benavidez, and Jermel Charlo flat out claiming he's not clean, to fans questioning if his career relied on more than talent. It's done for Canelo Alvarez. Farewell forever. Let's break it apart. Canelo Alvarez wasn't only a boxer. He was a movement. Turning professional at just 15, the red-headed kid from Guadalajara carried the pride of an entire nation. He fought anyone, anywhere, and earned his reputation as the hardest worker in boxing.
All the cars, everything you want, beautiful family. What motivates you to keep going? Why do you keep going?
I love boxing. I love what I do. I still enjoy my training camps. I enjoy boxing. I love this. I enjoy a lot this. So, and I want to continue to make history because I want to put my name in a big stage, in a big position for my history. So, and I still enjoy it. I love what I do.
He became Mexico's brightest superstar, a unified champion, the centerpiece of pay-per-view boxing, and ultimately the man who etched his name in history as the first undisputed super middleweight champion.
People talk shit and say whatever they want to say, but look at Canelo. Canelo is still the man.
Yes,
you know,
he's been for a long, long time.
And he jumps in there and he does it and he goes to work, and it's hard to stay at that level for a very long time. And Canelo's another guy. I mean, what's this guy clipping 40 millimeters?
He battled Gennady Golovkin, Miguel Cotto, Sergey Kovalev, Billy Joe Saunders, Caleb Plant. The list goes on, and with every victory, the Canelo legend expanded. But legends aren't untouchable, and in 2018, the cracks began to surface.
Fucking Canelo, man. I don't know if he's cheating.
What do you mean?
I feel like Canelo juices. But I'm a Triple G fan, so I'm a say that ahead of time. I just like
There's a lot of money on the line, and if I could get away with it, I would do it as well.
Some tainted beefs.
I think, well, he definitely got busted once for something, but it could have been from tainted beef. We don't know. But it also could be that, we should probably leave them the fuck alone and let them do whatever they want to do. Do you want to see Manny Pacquiao fight or not? Right? I want to see him juiced up, fighting at 45 years of age, coming in with a full six-pack, lighting people on.
The world anticipated the Canelo versus GGG rematch, one of the decade's most anticipated fights. But just weeks before the bout, the boxing world was shaken. Canelo failed a test, not once, but twice, for clenbuterol, a prohibited substance.
Canelo Alvarez failed a drug test before his big Triple G fight in May, and he's blaming Mexican cows. All right, here's the deal. 2 months until the rematch with Gennady Golovkin on May 5th is going to be the big fight, and he's been taking drug tests leading up to the fight, standard operating procedure. This time he popped for a substance called clenbuterol, which is a banned substance. As a matter of fact, it helps you cut weight. A lot of people use it illegally to cut weight while maintaining muscle mass. He is saying he did not cheat. He's not a cheater. I did not intentionally take clenbuterol. Problem is, I've been training in Mexico and eating contaminated cow beef. That's what he's saying. There's a problem apparently in Mexico where some of the cattle are being injected with clenbuterol, which helps cows. It's illegal in the United States, but some places outside the United States, even some places in the United States, will use clenbuterol to grow bigger cows, to up the protein content in the meat. And he's saying that what he had was contaminated meat because his training center is in Mexico and there's a problem with Mexican meat down there. He even issued a statement saying,
his explanation tainted beef in Mexico, and yes, it's true that clenbuterol has appeared in Mexican cattle feed before, but many fans didn't believe it. They viewed it as a convenient cover for a fighter who always looked bigger, stronger, and far more powerful than the competition.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. just reignited controversy about Canelo Alvarez's legacy. Not only did he call their 2013 fight easy, Floyd went deeper. He brought up the failed steroid test from 2018, Mayweather said. Canelo's transformation raised red flags and questioned whether all those knockouts were clean. This dude talking about eating bad meat, but you eating steroid cows, to Mayweather. This isn't trash talk, it's about protecting the sport. He believes Canelo's record is clouded by performance enhancers, especially against smaller fighters. With Crawford stepping up in weight, Floyd's warning hits hard. Be smart. Don't base everything on power.
Canelo was banned 6 months by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. The bout was delayed and his image, once flawless, suddenly faced heavy scrutiny. And here's the truth about peasant boxing. Once your name gets tied to them, the stain never fades. Fast forward to today, and the storm hasn't cleared, it's only grown. David Benavidez openly said, if Canelo truly believed in himself, he'd fight me. But when 5 guys in your team test positive.
If Canelo was 100% confident in himself, I don't know why you wouldn't fight me. Especially since, seeing that everybody in his team is on steroids, which means including him, so he never got off.
You think he's on steroids?
Of course. How does 5?
You saw De La Hoya.
How do 5 people out of your camp get tested positive for steroids? Right. All those fucking dudes in that camp,
including you. Then everyone knows the truth. All of you are dirty. Jermel Charlo went even further, accusing Canelo of microdosing, using clenbuterol at levels meant to slip past detection. Charlo even claimed, you all really think Canelo hasn't been on clenbuterol for years? Come on.
Nothing. Jamal, I'm just asking, when you think about Canelo and the PED usage, right? This is probably the 4th or 5th fighter out of that camp that's come up hot for PEDs. Just what are your thoughts around that? And
I've been telling y'all about that for a long time. Victor Conte them. All right, so hear me out. No bullshit for real. They make the drug at the limit of non-responsible. All right, so this right here, this level is you're banned. That's a banned substance. They will make the drug all the way up to the line of the banned substance, but it doesn't show, so it's not responsible. So they've been doing that shit for years, but now that they, tapped into it, it's getting caught. Y'all think Canelo hasn't been taking clenbuterol for a long ass time? Y'all think he ain't back on that shit? Or y'all think it was just in the state? Cause I go to Mexico all the time from Houston, from Texas. I'm in Mexico all the time eating steak. I ain't never got popped for no shit like that.
When you think about
they're microdosing it. They're look, no excuse. I'm not trying to put nobody out there. This not just boxing. There's a lot of athletes all over the world. They make the drug right there to the line of like this qualification, but they don't surpass it. So they're not getting caught for it. A lot of these fighters are all kind of shit.
And now Terrence Crawford, ahead of their September showdown, has doubled down on the same claim. He's not clean.
What's up, everybody? I want to give a big shout out to Snack for always supporting and helping me out with this previous fight. Snack strong, baby.
When your opponent is calling you out before fight night, when rivals are openly ridiculing you, when fans keep questioning every victory, your career is hanging by a thread, no matter how many titles you hold.
There's not much you can do either. The other thing about it is, like, once your body doesn't produce it anymore and you're in your late 30s like that and you've been juicing for a long time.
There's like Clomid and stuff that tries to or HCT or HTC. What's is that that's a cell phone? Either way,
HCG or something like that.
Whatever it is, but it's supposed to boost your testosterone naturally, but never to the levels when you're injecting that Jamba Juice.
No, not only that though, you can't take that stuff. It's
not in the
illegal.
UFC.
Right, it's illegal.
I'm just saying yeah, that's true. I guess when he retires, he can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah, when he retires or goes to Ryzen. Can you imagine? If the UFC lets him out of the contract and then all of a sudden he disappears for like 8 months and just we hear, just locked in the house with horse meat. Just fillet of horse all day.
He's eating that Canelo meat.
And goes back to deadlifting and hanging out with power lifters.
Let's be honest, PEDs change everything in boxing. They don't just make you stronger, they let you recover quicker, cut weight easier, and fight with more endurance. They allow you to survive battles other fighters can't. That's why so many fans feel deceived, because PEDs aren't only cheating, they're dangerous. When one fighter has that edge and the other doesn't, every punch becomes a weapon, and Canelo's camp history makes it worse. Jaime Munguia, a close ally, also tested positive. That's why Benavidez insists it's not only Canelo, it's his entire team. Here's the sad reality. Canelo has accomplished everything possible. He's unified divisions, faced pound-for-pound greats, and carried boxing on his shoulders for nearly a decade. But legacy isn't only about victories. It's about how fans remember you. And right now, Canelo risks being remembered not as a hero, but as a fraud. Think about Barry Bonds or Lance Armstrong. Legendary athletes, yet forever stained. That's the shadow Canelo is living under.
Everyone watched it. How would you have done if you didn't cheat? It'd be very difficult, right? Old school doping, cortisone, and other things here and there. 1, maybe 2%. EPO is a 10%. What do you think we all did?
But you didn't get 10% better. You got 100% fraudulent. This isn't about redemption. It's reputation damage control in disguise. You didn't make a tough choice. You made the easiest one. Lie, inject, win, repeat. And while you were stacking trophies and $1 million brand endorsements, you were burying every clean athlete who still believed in hard work. You were a role model to me as well until you became a warning label. You didn't cheat the system. You cheated the fans, you cheated the sports, and you cheated yourself. And now you're trying to justify setting a wrong example for anyone who's actually trying to get ahead in life. And this is exactly why I don't do business with anyone who buys followers and likes on social media. Because if you lie about that, what else are you lying about? What are your thoughts?
Truth is, Canelo Alvarez is no longer the same champion. The aura of dominance, the fire, the explosiveness, it just isn't there anymore. Look at his last fight against William Skull. Fans were excited, hoping for a vintage Canelo showcase. Instead, they got 12 dull, lifeless rounds where Canelo looked like he was coasting, not the pound-for-pound king he once was. Skull, a little-known Cuban, had nothing on paper that should have troubled Canelo.
Absolutely crap, load of rubbish. The fight really was a waste of time. If you haven't watched it, don't watch it because there's better things you could be doing, like probably watching the grass grow or watching some paint dry maybe. But that fight was a total waste of time. Watching that as a former unified super middleweight world boxing champion and Hall of Famer, I was thinking to myself, what an opportunity you've got there. If I was fighting still 10 years ago, that opportunity came up for me. I know Canelo Alvarez is going to be a tough fight for anybody. I know it's a long ask trying to beat a guy like that, but come on, if I'm in there with Canelo for whatever amount of money, there's going to come a point where I'm saying, right, I'm going for it now. Probably around 3 or 4, I'm going to stick it on him and have a go. To be given an opportunity like that, Skull defending his IBF title and potentially becoming undisputed, to go in there and just perform like that, for me, it's not acceptable. And I think in my day and with my mindset and the way I used to fight, I'd have gone for it. Just gone for it and then give the fans, give the boxing fans, and do.
Yet Canelo failed to deliver a statement performance. He didn't push for a knockout. He didn't send a warning to the boxing world. What fans got was a slow, cautious, and honestly boring unanimous decision win. And here lies the problem. Fans don't pay to watch Canelo cruise through fights. They want to see him in dangerous matchups, fights that define legacies. And when it comes to big fights, one name has haunted him for years: David Benavidez, the Mexican monster. Fans have demanded it. The boxing world has begged for it. Yet every time, Canelo has swerved, dismissed, or flat out avoided it. Instead, he picks safer opponents, guys like Skull, while Benavidez keeps demolishing contenders and proving he's the real king at 168. And it's not just the fans anymore. Analysts, ex-champions, even promoters are calling it out. Canelo is preserving his image, not defending it. Because deep down, everyone knows Benavidez is a genuine threat, and Canelo doesn't want to risk losing the one thing that keeps his aura alive: his crown as the face of boxing.
From Benavidez. What is that? I mean, imagine if I ever ran from anybody. Like, did I run from somebody in my career? No. Did Chavez run from somebody in his career? No. Chavez was 87-0. Imagine that. So to me, that's the all-time great.
So yes, he's still winning, but the victories lack excitement. They lack meaning, and they're not the matchups fans crave. That's why more and more people are saying the same thing. This isn't the Canelo Alvarez we once knew. Which brings us to his looming fight with Terence Crawford. Now, let's address the elephant in the room: the weight gap in this Canelo versus Crawford clash. On paper, it's the fight of the year, maybe even the fight of the decade. To pound-for-pound stars, to all-time greats finalists sharing the ring. But when you dig deeper, the size difference is huge, leaving many to wonder if this matchup is even fair. Canelo Alvarez has been holding steady at 168 pounds, carrying natural strength and power at super middleweight.
Terence Crawford, does he have an opportunity to beat Canelo?
I think if anybody has a chance to beat Canelo, I think it's Terence Crawford. His IQ is on another level. He's a great fighter and he's strong. It's just that it's a lot of weight. I wouldn't be surprised if Terence Crawford wins. Wouldn't be surprised if he loses. Terence Crawford, when he went up against the best opposition, like Earl Spence, he showed what level he's on, what type of dog he is. So I don't know. You really have to let these fights play out to see what happens. He might get hurt. That might activate him to come back strong.
Could you still make 68?
I don't want to make 68.
No, I know you don't. Terence wins 68.
Yeah, well, if that's, yeah.
Crawford, meanwhile, had to rise from lightweight to welterweight and is now forcing his body to weight classes higher. To face Canelo at 168, that's an enormous jump. You're talking about a fighter who normally weighs in at 147 to 154 pounds, against a man who's been crushing opponents who are larger, stronger, and naturally heavier. The physics of this matchup can't be overlooked. Can Crawford's speed, ring IQ, and counterpunching neutralize Canelo's raw size and strength? That's the million-dollar question. And still, despite all the doubts, fans are buzzing with excitement.
What are your expectations for what the next couple of months are going to hold for both guys?
This is going to be super interesting for Canelo.